All right, I'm just going to quickly go through the new features that we added to Friender. One of the new features that we added to Friender is here on the extension side. Whenever you're running Friender and you want to actually add people to the friends queue, now we've actually made it a two-step process where you have all your first settings that were there for your filters and everything that you can still edit and change them. Now, the second process is, do you want to add them to the friends queue? Do you want to change labels? Do you want to add and remove tags? So these are all optional, whether you want to actually use them or not. So for example, if you don't want to add anybody to the friends queue and you just only want to add and remove tags, you can. If you want to add them to the friends queue and add and remove tags, you can. So this is something that several of you were actually asking for. It's built now. So for example, if you have a Facebook group, that's not a group, but if you have a Facebook group and instead of sending everybody a friend request, maybe you just want to tag and label everybody. Well, same thing. You can just come over here. You have your same filters that you always had here. So your same filters that you always had are there. And then now you can just, if you don't want to add them to the friends queue and you just only want to add them to a tag like Friender or Friender group or something, then you can go ahead and then just hit run Friender. And now instead of adding them to the friends queue, it will just add a tag to them or remove a tag if you want to remove a tag. Okay, or change a label or add them to a friends queue. So here, if you wanted to, we could go in and we could add these people to the friends queue and add them to the top of the queue. And then we could also add this tag to them at the same time. Now in your automations, we're about to actually look at the automations. In your automations, you would be able now to set up automations like, hey, whenever somebody accepts my friend request and they have this specific tag, if they have this tag, then okay, now actually do this. So that's something that you guys asked for. That's actually been added. The next thing that's actually been added is, we added to, I'm not sure if you guys know or not, but you can go in, for example, here, and I'll show you an automation. You have right here in this option, you have the option to go in and enrich their profile. Okay, so we can go in and actually click that, and that will enrich this person's profile. Okay, so that's actually working in my other window, so you can't see it, but it is actually working in my other window. It's going in and enriching that person's profile. Okay, so it's going in and doing the work, enriching that person's profile. And now not only are we doing the profile enrichment, but we're also getting the content of their first 10 Facebook posts. Okay, so I'll show you that in just a second. Whenever it's done, this will stop spinning. This will stop spinning here whenever it's done. So now when we enrich their profile, we are looking for all their about information, their bio, how many friends they have, how many people they're following, contact information, family, marital status, personal details, intro, any link, where they live, places that they lived, where they're from, where they've worked, what their employment is, what their birthday is, basically all the information that they share publicly on Facebook. We go out and we get that information. So let's open this person up and let's see at their enriched data. And then you can see, hey, here is their recent post. Let's look at them. Here's their recent post. A lot of what weighs you down isn't yours to carry. A lot of what weighs you down isn't yours to carry. You'll be amazed at what you attract when you start believing in what you deserve. Higher self is the conceiver, physical brain is the receiver. Okay, so you can see we're going out and we're getting their Facebook post. We're looking at their recent Facebook post. We're also looking at, here's their bio right here. So there's their bio, 422 followers, 25 following. We're getting that information, 300 friends, 2 mutual friends. So we're scraping all that information. You can see we have all that enriched data that we actually just got about this person. We went out and enriched their data. Also, if we find any contact information, or anything like that, we'll update that. Okay. And then now you can use this enriched data. Inside your messages. You can use it with the friender tracking script to create customized pages, right? Now you have all this enriched data about them. So anyways, we added in these 10 recent posts. And then the other thing that we actually added in is a autoresponder trigger. Okay, so we added in a new trigger inside the automation. So if you go here, you can see a start trigger is going to be message autoresponder. And you can also use it as a stop trigger. And this is going to fire if you are using the message autoresponder and you have the autoresponder turned on anytime an incoming message comes in. So anytime an incoming message comes in, this trigger right here, the message autoresponder, that trigger will fire. So if you set up, for example, a drip campaign. So for example, you can set up a drip campaign. Let's say whenever somebody gets a tag added, you can set up a drip campaign to follow up with them, right? Send them out messages. I know many of you are doing that already. When someone visits your webpage, you're using a trigger. You're using a trigger like the link manager, and you're looking whenever somebody viewed a specific web page, right? Your offer page. As soon as they get to your offer page, you start a follow-up sequence to follow up with them because you want to see like, hey, are they interested in buying your stuff? Well, now you can set it where that just keeps following up with them. And as soon as they reply back to you, as soon as you get that incoming message, you can go ahead and stop the automation. So this is what we released today. We got new amazing features coming up soon. A couple more things you'll see released this week. But that's what we got for you today.